Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat? Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints fall to the Atlanta Falcons by a score of 19-17. Unfortunately, the New Orleans Saints get swept by the Atlanta Falcons this 2025 season. But as crazy as this sounds, I don't think Saints fans care. I don't think they really care, man. Look, you don't want to get swept by the Falcons with all, like seriously. But at the end of the day, this is probably the best case scenario that you can ask for based on the New Orleans Saints and how they came into the game and how their back was pretty much against the wall in this game. The fact that the New Orleans Saints dominated the game, other than the fact that the Falcons actually won the football game. And, like I said, you have to be proud you have to be proud of this team today. You got to be proud. The fact is, they went out there with last chance you. Yes, I'm going to say it. No disrespect to those guys, but look, they know where they at in the pecking order of the NFL. Last chance you. A bunch of backups, practice squad guys. That wasn't like, I want y'all to understand this. I want people to understand this. There wasn't a guy who was catching a pass from Tyler Shough in this game that started the season on the roster. I want y'all to understand, like, Kevin Austin was off and on the roster, right? When the Saints did their final 53, Kevin Austin wasn't on the team. I mean, Dante Pettis wasn't on the team. Torrey wasn't on the team. Ronnie Bell wasn't on the team. I mean, Altrick Estime wasn't on the team. Like, this guy went out there with a bunch of guys that wasn't even on the freaking team, and they lost by 2 points. And not to mention a straight-up dime to Ronnie Bell in the back of the end zone, which came a play too late, or we would have been having a completely different conversation about how clutch Tyler Shough is down the stretch. But look, man, it was a costly interception, but I wasn't really surprised by the interception because the Saints were basically running the same 2 or 3 plays the entire offensive drive, man. He was out there basically just throwing short passes, quick slants. I mean, he was only going by what these dudes can actually do and probably what they were doing in practice, or what he felt comfortable with. There was a couple of plays where he felt like Ronnie Bell was maybe his down the field threat to that day. You had a pretty decent play by Dante Pettis, but, man, let's just be serious about this. The Atlanta Falcons were a better team than the New Orleans Saints when it comes to the roster. Like, I am not going to take anything away. Like, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but in 2025, the Atlanta Falcons were a better football team than the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints being in this position was a pleasant surprise. We all know that this was a rebuild year for the New Orleans Saints. The fact that the New Orleans Saints won 6 games is pretty remarkable, especially when you consider how they started the season. Now, we can talk about ifs and buts and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, it is great to see that Tyler Shough looks like the future of this franchise. And look, you got some idiots out here, and I'm just going to call them that, man. You got some fools out there that's really out here talking about, I need to wait and see. What in the hell do you need to wait and see for? This should have been a game that sold you on Tyler Shough. This man was out here once again with practice squad guys and looking formidable. How, like, I don't know what you all want. This man is showing you everything that you want to see in a quarterback: the arm talent, the decision making, the ability to be able to escape the pocket, be able to climb the pocket, to be able to extend plays. This man is playing some really good football. And right now, people just acting like, oh man, this is the type of quarterback play that we've been seeing for the last 5 seasons. Man, miss me with that. I don't get it. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand how some of you analyze the game of football. I just don't. Tyler Shough is incredible to watch. Like, based on a guy who started 8 weeks ago. This man came out here 8 weeks ago, and every single game he gets better. Every single game he gets better. So I don't know what these Saints fans, some of y'all, are looking for. I don't. Like, I don't know what y'all think going to happen, but this is the best case scenario. Like, because you know that the New Orleans Saints are going to have some formidable wide receiver talent next year. Like, I don't know if any of you ever seen Jalen Polk play, but the dude is not a scrub. We know that Devon Bailey is not a scrub. Trey Palmer is not a scrub. Chris Olave is not a scrub. And not to mention, I'm pretty sure the New Orleans Saints are going to grab somebody in the draft that won't be a scrub, because I'm pretty sure they're going to get them rather in the first round or the second round. The sky's the freaking limit. What are you guys looking for? I have absolutely no idea. No freaking idea if you out here still questioning Tyler Shough. I just don't get it. Like, I don't even want to talk football with a person that's questioning this guy. Like, it should just be, it should just be, can he build on what he has done his rookie season and his sophomore season? It should not be, oh, I got to see if this dude the quarterback of the future. The future is now. Like, you can make an argument that Tyler Shough is the best quarterback in the NFC South right now. Like, seriously, right freaking now. You can make, you almost making that argument. So I don't know what some of you all are looking for. Probably just upset that we lost to the Falcons. But at the end of the day, the Saints losing to the Falcons really doesn't have, like, it doesn't make or break Tyler Shough. Like, Tyler Shough came into this game with house money. Anything Tyler Shough did in this game that was above remarkable really is a testament to how talented this dude is as a quarterback. So I don't know. If you out here like on the fence with Tyler Shough, I don't know what to tell you, man. This man is playing some really good football. This man is making you look forward to watching the Saints every week. It used to be like, oh man, let me see what these boys gonna do. Now it's like, man, let's see if Tyler Shough can do something out here. But enough of me, man. We're gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines. Hear from you all what you think about this Atlanta Falcons Saints game. Like I said, it's unfortunate that the Saints lost, but hey, man, if you're gonna lose to a team that clearly had way more in the clip than you did, and they were just a better, in my opinion, a better roster structure, than the Saints were, I don't have no problem with that. I mean, if they would have went out there and just got beat to sleep, I mean, that would have even been understandable. The fact that they lost by 2 just tells you that this team is trending in the right direction. But I gotta say this, man. I don't care how great that you're doing, how much you trending in the right direction. You gotta beat the Falcons. I mean, look, check it out. I mean, it's great that you swept the Panthers. It's great that you split with the Bucks, but you gotta beat the Falcons, man. You have got to beat the freaking Falcons. So we'll let y'all slide this year, Kellen Moore and Tyler Shough, but next year the energy gonna be completely different. They gotta come through and they gotta beat the Falcons. But let's go ahead and go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing?
What's going on, TJ? Happy 2026 to you, my brother. How you doing?
And I'm doing fine, Jerry. Happy 2026 to you too, man. It's unfortunate that the Saints get the victory today, but there was some good parts in this game, man.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna come right out the get-go, TJ. And happy 2026 to everybody in the chat. Hope y'all year starting off on a good note.
Right.
Despite we got swept by the Falcons, but that really don't matter.
Not to me. Not to me. I mean, they're excited about it, but I mean, like, which they should be, because if we would have swept the Falcons, regardless, like, we would have been talking. But I mean, look, I hate to admit it, man. They were a better football team this season as far as roster structure. I mean, they didn't live up to expectations, which I find hilarious, because they were, like, on paper, they were the best team in the South, and they missing the playoffs. So
the all-season paper champs,
right? Like, so they can have it, you know. They can have it at the end of the day. But like I said, it's fine right now. But at the end of the day, man, you got to beat the Falcons. You have got to beat the Falcons. Like, I think Saints fans, like, if they would have won 2 games and it would have been both games would have been a Falcons, they would have been okay. But you got to beat them, man.
You have to, TJ. I mean, that's every Saints fan's worst nightmare is losing twice to your hated rival, the Atlanta Falcons, which I really, to this point, I really don't even care. Like your boy say, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Just because the Falcons beat the Saints twice really don't mean nothing.
Nah,
because
bragging rights maybe, but other than that.
TJ, 1 week, just about over a couple of months ago, we lost to the Dolphins. We got eliminated, and I don't know who the Falcons played the next week, but they got eliminated the next week. So don't even come over here talking about, oh, we swept the A's. We swept the A's. We got that swag. We got that swag. Man, I don't want to hear all that. You know what? I tell you what, them Falcon fans can have the time of their life talking about they swept us, but on that couch right there. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. Y'all see that? Hey, Falcon fans, y'all see that couch? Y'all see that couch? Huh? Y'all see that couch? You can brag all you want on us, on y'all sweeping us, but y'all gonna be doing it right on this couch. Right here. Right here. Isn't that couch beautiful, TJ?
Man, it's definitely gonna be sitting. They definitely gonna be sitting on the couch. No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
But at the end, like I said, at the end of the day, man, like it just gave me hope about the South, man. I feel like these two teams are going to go back to the way things used to be, where you really didn't know who was going to win. You know, you had Matt Ryan on one side of the football, Drew Brees on the other, and you know, they kind of just split every single year. I think that's what this is going to come down to. So, like I said, man, this game gave me hope for the future. I'm like, if they out here battling with this, I mean, look at that offensive line, man. You lost Calvin Banks in the game. Yeah, you like have a bunch of scrubs on the interior. Yeah, I mean, they played decent today, but let's call it for what it is. Not the best interior, and it's going to look completely different. And like I said, no Taysom Hill left the game. Like, who are you throwing the ball to? Like, you out here throwing the ball to guys that weren't even on a team at the beginning of the season. So,
yeah, exactly.
What can you do?
Look, as Samuel L. Jackson called them unknowns.
Right. Like somebody said in the chat, like, man, stop making excuses. Like, nobody making no excuses. Like, come on, man.
No, nobody ain't making no excuses.
Come on, man. Like, that ain't no excuse.
That's got to be a Falcon fan. That's got to be.
I mean, look, the thing about it is people will say, man, stop making excuses because they want to feel validated that, we beat. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, let's be serious about this. You got B. John Robinson out there. You got Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Y'all got y'all entire defense. And, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, the fact that the Saints only lost by 2 is pretty impressive, if you ask me. Like, if the Falcons would have went out here and beat the Saints 30-16 or something, 30-14, it's like, who did they have on the offensive side of football? Like so
exactly. But TJ, you did make a valid point. As much as it pains others, and not to me, but we got to fix that offensive lineman. We got to fix that offensive lineman.
Yeah. Today.
We got to. Whether Saints fans like it or not, we got to fix that freaking offensive lineman right away. And that's what's going to make it better for Shough.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they give him some time and and be able to, and also just give him some guys that can get open. I mean, man, look, the sky's the limit for him.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, man, I don't know what dude wanted in the chat. I guess he wanted us to feel bad or something like that. Like about like, dude, you came to the wrong show. Like, season over, dog.
TJ,
let
let me say this right here. These Falcon fans cannot wait. After they swept us, they cannot wait to come out the woodshed and try to trash us Saints fans. They couldn't wait, but they got to understand something. They still without a Super Bowl. They still haven't made the playoffs. So they still on the couch.
Look,
so why you want to come over here on other Saints channels and try to blast us because, we beat the Saints. Oh, we beat the Saints. They don't prove nothing.
Man, look, I don't even want to keep on having this conversation. I'd rather talk about the Saints. Like, to be honest with you, I'd rather talk about them because, like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, it ain't even anything to be frustrated about. Like, what can you do? If the Saints won this football game, it would have been like hella remarkable. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, it would have been a remarkable victory if they would have won this game because they had no business even being like in this type of situation based on what they went into the game with, man. But like I said, man, the sky's the limit. I'm looking forward to seeing what the New Orleans Saints are going to do to fix this. And, you know, hopefully they can get themselves some better talent offensively to be able to help Tyler Shough, running game, you know, the passing game. Let's try to see if they can get that on board. So you got anything else, Jerry?
Not a whole lot, TJ, but I just want to come on here. Look, I do have one other thing. You know, yes, we lost to the Falcons earlier, but look on the bright side of stuff. Look on the bright side of things, Who Dat Nation. At least the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not win a 5th NFC South title.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing.
So Saints fans, let's just be grateful, be blessed, and be thankful that the Bucs did not win the NFC South a 5th time.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. You know, they'll get themselves a home game and probably get bounced out the playoffs as soon as possible.
And they're going to be right on the couch with us. Look, we on the couch. The Falcons are on the couch. The Bucs recently on the couch. And whoever Carolina play in a wild card, they might get knocked out, and they're going to be on the couch. So the entire NFC South,
man,
we're going to have a nice little round table of saying Kumbaya or whatever. Man, they're going to be on the couch too.
I mean, if they play the way that they play against Tampa on Saturday, they definitely going to be on the couch. So, I mean, they get themselves a home game, man. So, I mean, you got Bank of America Stadium. You know, you're going to have yourself a wild card, a home game. And, I mean, I assume they probably going to play the 49ers. So that's going to be pretty tough.
That's going to be elimination.
Or the Rams.
They talking about, look at the Panthers in first place.
They were happy. But look, man, I can understand, though. I mean, the Panthers is a team that been struggling, you know, and they haven't made it to the postseason. And you know, they won the division, man. So, I mean, they don't care, man. They don't care how they won it. The fact is they won it. And, you know, man, congratulations to their fan base. You know, they get them something that they can be proud of or something they feel like they can actually build on. But it's going to be a tough outing against whoever they play, rather it's the Rams, rather it's the 49ers. They're going to have to bring their A game. So we're going to see, man.
Exactly, TJ. Like you say, whoever they play, they're going to have to bring it because at the end of the day, when that game hit 0, they out. You can talk about keep pounding all you want. You're gonna keep pounding on that couch.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's gonna be DJ. There is room on the couch for you.
Everybody gonna be sitting down watching at the end of wild card weekend. You know, I mean, but look, we know, man, stranger things have happened. I mean, this is a team that beat the Rams. They beat the Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, what Panther team is going to show up? We'll see if they end up beating Rams or the 49ers, man. It's going to completely be a shock. But all in all, man, look, I just want to see some real good playoff football, man, and I just want to see the best teams representing the AFC and NFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, thank God we don't have to see the Chiefs in there. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna see a different cast of characters, probably, representing the NFC or AFC. I mean, if the Eagles can't get in it. But Jerry, I got a few more people I gotta get to, but man, thank you so much for chiming in, and call back anytime, man.
We'll do, TJ. Much love to you and your family. Much love to everybody in the chat. Much love to y'all. Let's have a good year. And the Saints will be back next year and hopefully reclaim the NFC South if we get the guys that we need.
Yeah, from your mouth to God's ears, my friend. Thank you.
Amen to that.
Thank you, Jerry, man. Call back anytime.
We'll do, TJ. You be blessed. Have a good week.
All right, you too. Who that? Man, shouts out to Jerry. Yeah, man, look, hopefully this can be the start of something. But they have got to fix that interior, man. And you got to be able to run the football. Get yourself a balanced attack. Might be able to do something in 2026. We're going to go to who that chasing. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's the word, TJ?
Man, nothing much, man. Thank you for chiming in. What you got for us this evening?
Man, I'm hurt, bro. Like, I'm so hurt, bro. And I know, like, I shouldn't even be hurt because the circumstances that we was in this game, like, bro, we had nothing, bro. Like, we had 10 cans and Uber drivers out there, like, bro, like we had DoorDash delivery drivers, bro, like, and I know they gave their effort, bro. So I ain't mad at them, but Lord help me, man. Like, I'm so sad, man. But like you said, man, there ain't no reason to be frustrated. We got reason for optimism, bro. Like, going into next season, man, we gonna be in good shape, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm not one of them delusional Saints fans that sit up here and just like, oh man, it's just the Falcons. They ain't got nothing. They like, man, organizational structure as of right now, like the way their team is structured, they have a better roster than the Saints. In this game, they came into the game with a better roster than the Saints. That's not just something that I'm just saying. Like, it's a fact. And it would have been hard for the Saints to win this game if you had Chris Olave out there. So imagine, like, if you would have went out there, like, you out here with last chance you. Like, come on, man. Like, that was tough. That was tough, bro. So, man, look, credit to them. Like, they did what they needed to do. And the thing about it was they knew it. Like, in the second half, the Falcons weren't even trying to move the football like that. Like, they were just trying to sustain drives just to get Zane Gonzalez into field goal range. They weren't even, like, honestly, they weren't even trying to push the football. Like, once they realized they couldn't run the football with Bijan, they were like, okay, dink and dunk. That
was their whole attack.
Yep. Get in field goal range for Zane Gonzalez, and that was it. Like, they weren't even trying to, like, really push the football because they knew that the Saints offense was going to have a tough time moving the football against that defense with as many inexperienced players that they actually have and the lack of chemistry that they had with Tyler Shough. Like, so like I said, the fact that they got 17 points in this game, I just think they should be proud. Proud of
that. Yeah. I feel like the defense, man, like, they really did show up. The interior, I think we gonna need something on the interior. As far as Cam, I feel like Cam could come back for another year. I feel like he earned it. He deserved it. He's still kind of moving, shaking and jiving out there. Chase Young looked dominant. Really, defensively, we in a good position, man. We really, need a little touch up. But like you said, the offensive line, brother, we need some on that interior because it's ridiculous. Like, it's like running into a brick wall, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't even think if we went into the draft and we drafted Love, I don't even think he would be able to do nothing behind that offensive line. Like,
no. But that's one of the main reasons why, Chase, and I said that they need to get Jeremiah Love, because the reality is the guy just basically goes 0 to 100 real quick. Kind of like
Bijan. Facts, though.
Soon as he sees like a crevice of a hole, he's shooting through it. And, like, he needs that kind of explosiveness. Like, I think that if you go back and watch this game, man, Ulrich Estime is as hard as he runs. Like, he left a lot of yards on the field by not dissecting the right hole or doing too much tiptoeing and
dancing.
I like him, man. Like, you gotta get a running back that can create, that can create things and opportunities for himself. And until you fix this offensive line, you have to go with a dynamic guy. And I just think that Jeremiah Love gives you that. But you can get yourself some really good talented interior linemen in this draft, bro.
Yeah, nah, you right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like that's they gonna have to fix the line because I agree with you. I feel like they need to draft Love, but if they don't do some real work to that line and really, you know, make the right hits in that draft, because it's not gonna be any guards available in free agency. So I mean, really, we betting on the draft heavily. So I would just say, like, man, they gotta hit, man, so that we can actually take advantage. But yeah, I don't see the need for a receiver. I think a lot of people are still like sleeping on Jalen Polk. I really think that he's going to be good in this system, bro. He's pretty sizable for a receiver. You know, can run routes. I feel like he's gonna be good, man. I think that if we do get a receiver, you know, I think we can. What you think? You think we touch second round or?
Yep. I think it's gonna be a second round guy, man. Because look, man, I think what you've seen is that you have a quarterback that you can actually build around. So the fact that you can actually build around this quarterback, to me, I think the Saints need to go into this draft trying to be mostly like offensively heavy. Like if it was like one of those situations where you wasn't that sure about Shough, then I can understand like maybe getting, you know, get a Reuben Bain, or you're not going to touch Orville Reese. You too far off. But getting a dominant defensive player that you can actually add to the football team. But now that you actually have that quarterback, build around this team. Like build around him. So
for sure. I love what we got in Shough, man. He's showing, like, listen, I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, I was earlier in the season, I was too hyped up about Shough. You know, I was too straightforward. I'm mad at anybody who say anything about Shough, but it's just because I seen what he had, like, tools wise, like the type of quarterback he is, poised, like never letting the moment be too big for him, or just even, like, you know, when a lot of people had their doubts, you know, he wasn't the type of quarterback that shrunk, you know what I'm saying? But going into this offseason, it's good that he get to learn. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, you know, that interception was remnant. Like, it reminded me of the preseason with that pick six. And to me, it's like, you know, he gotta, in situations like that, man, you gotta know that these DBs are smarter than they seem. You know what I'm saying? You might get hit, because we got away with them double slants a few times, bro. Like, but you gotta be ready for stuff like that. You know, he telegraphed that. It frustrated me, but then I had to realize at the same time, he a rookie. I love what we have with him. I love the fact that all you have to do is really just put weapons around him. Again, like I said, man, we in a great position going forward. And hey, man, hey, I just look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna hold up too much of your time though, because I'm out here on the road and stuff. But I just wanted to get on and say that, you know, bruh, like I rock with you, TJ, for real, man. You be telling the truth, bro. Like,
look, I appreciate it, man. You know, I appreciate it. But, you know, I want to go back to something that you said about the double slants. It wasn't the fact that, you know, I feel like he was questioning the intelligence of the defense. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that these were the only plays that he was really comfortable running with them. Like, other than like I felt like they was running those routes, but he was basically just throwing the ball to like Dante Pettis, Kevin Austin, and Taysom Hill. And then when Taysom Hill went out, it's like you actually have to rely on those guys. That's why I feel like he was throwing like a lot of 50-50 balls to Ronnie Bell. Like, I feel like, man, Ronnie Bell could have came down with that touchdown when he dove for it and came down with it. The play right before he actually caught that one-hander. Like, we having a completely different conversation about Tyler Shough, because after that play, he threw the interception. So I just think that it was the lack of chemistry that he has with these guys, the fact that, I mean, he hasn't worked with these guys consistently, and he probably was like, okay, what can they do well? Well, you know, they big body guys, I could throw it in there. But, man, that play right there, like I said, he was just trying to make something happen. And I don't hold it against him at all, man. You're just trying to make something happen with limited talent out there and guys that you don't really have a rapport with. But look, I think that the Saints, I agree with you, need to fix the interior. And hopefully, man, they can actually get themselves a dynamic running back. If you want to keep Alvin, you know, you can have somebody that can run with him, man. But they're going to have to fix this thing. But
for sure. One more question, though, before you get up out of here. So, non-biased, if you was a voter, is you voting Shough Rookie of the Year, or would you say that Ted McMillan deserved to win?
I'm gonna put it like this. If Ted McMillan wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, I understand. Like, it's kind of hard to pick against a guy who played all 17 games. And, you know, but you can also say that Ted McMillan plays a position that you are dependent on the quarterback, right? Versus Tyler Shough, who has the ball in his hands every single time. So he's the one that is making the offense go. But if they was to give it to Ted McMillan, I understand. Like, he played 17 games, but I don't think they had a quarterback, and I'm talking about in the league, that was playing as good a football as Tyler Shough was down the stretch. Maybe Brock Purdy. Like, that's probably the only quarterback that I see that down the stretch been playing.
God laid his hands on us, bro. Right. He laid his hands on us because, man, it's been, 5 years, man? We finally got a quarterback, dog.
Right. Yeah,
that was God, bro.
Look, bro, you walk away from 2025 knowing that the Saints have themselves a quarterback that they can build around. And hopefully, like I said, his sophomore season, like, he can just completely, like, emerge. And it's going to be interesting because, like, there are no more secrets anymore. And everybody sees how talented he is. So they're going to be ready to try to go out here and try to, you know, defend him and try to find ways to make things difficult for him. So, but he's going to have to be ready, man. But I think he is. I think that the confidence is there. I think that his teammates believe in him. And, you know, I think that the reason the defense has played so well as of late is because they believe that the offense has a guy that can win football games for them. Like, I don't like that kind of stuff matters, man. Like, that matters. Like, they can make it seem like, oh, we got to do our job. Man, dudes be talking in the locker room like, oh, man, they know if they're going to win or not. They know if they got some dogs on the team or not, bro. And if they don't feel like they got some dogs on the team, it might affect their play. They might go out there and still, you know, show professionalism and stuff, but there's nothing like believing and knowing that you got a dude on your team that can win a football game for you, bro.
No,
yeah,
sure,
I appreciate it, man.
You,
but call back anytime, man. Be safe on that road.
All right, for sure. You take care, TJ.
All right, you too. Yeah, man. There's nothing like knowing that you got a dude on your football team that can help you reach higher heights. Like, when you out there, like, just playing with a guy who is just a jag, right? You know, like, oh, man, you know, we do our thing. We might win a game this week. But Tyler Shough makes you feel like you can actually win something of significance. And that's something that the Saints haven't felt in a very long time. We was talking about the draft, you know, a little bit earlier. I just want to go ahead and throw this out here. This is my mock draft. This is State of Saints podcast mock draft 1.0 here, right? This is a draft. Basically, I did a draft simulator, and this is subject to change because I feel like some of the guys that are on this list playing in the college football playoffs probably going to affect their positioning in the draft. But as of right now, based on the availability of what was given by each round, these are the picks that I had. So I had the Saints selecting Jeremiah Love with their first pick in the first round because, once again, this dude is a dynamic running back. He's a guy that I feel like that can create his own opportunities. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And I just think that the Saints need themselves a home run hitter, and this guy can possibly be that. You align him with a Kellen Moore offensive scheme, and I think that this guy could be your all-purpose back and be a guy that can really do some things for you in it, you know, in your offense. And then you got Jacoby Lane, who I have the Saints selecting, the wide receiver out of USC. Guy that's a dog, man. Somebody that's going to go out here that can get those contested catches for you. Has that number one receiver type mind frame that you look for. And I think that he will be able to elevate some guys around him with his playmaking ability and just his confidence. I think that it's going to be something special that, you know, it could be a line there between Tyler Shough and Jacoby Lane. Then I got Cade Piper from Iowa, the offensive guard. The guy, look, man, anytime you get yourself an offensive lineman from Iowa, I think you're doing all right for yourself. I mean, they're a smash mouth football team. They always have been. We know that those Big Ten football teams, they play the cold. You know, they rely on their running game and some of those inclement conditions. And he's a guy that can be there and be an interior lineman for you, and a guy that can, you know, provide a spark. And he's a really good run blocker. So I had the Saints selecting him. Then Keontae Scott, who some of you probably recognize because of the college football playoffs. He was the defensive player of the game, I believe, in the game when Miami knocked off Ohio State. He's a guy that has that number one corner mind frame. He has some dog in him. And I just think that you add that to guys like Kool-Aid McKinstry, Quincy Riley. You get Keontae Scott out there, you got yourself a dog out there in the secondary. Harold Perkins, you know, is someone that I think that a lot of Saints fans are familiar with. We know that Harold Perkins was a freshman phenom, kind of fizzled off a tad bit, you know, as he stayed at LSU, a couple injuries. He was affected, you know, kind of affected his growth as a player. But I think that's the reason why the Saints land him. But we know that he's an athletic freak. He's a guy that can fly around a football. And I think that the Saints, they need speed on the defensive side of football. Like, that's the reason why I think that the Saints started utilizing guys like Danny Stutzman. They start bringing in guys like Jonah Williams, you know, Isaiah Stallbird, because those are some really good, speedy linebackers. And also you got a guy like Harold Perkins that can put his hand on the ground and rush the quarterback too. So I think that Harold Perkins would be a good fit. Tanner Kozel out of Houston. This is a guy that I like a lot. He's a really good red zone threat. He's a tight end. He's 6'7", right? I mean, he's a guy that the Houston Cougars rely on in the red zone, a lot of jump balls. They rely on him on third downs for him to be able to move the chains. And he's a guy that can be a possession guy. If you go and you look at his numbers, you're like, I don't know about that. But I just think that it's based on the offense that they run. And if you put him in an offense that, like Kellen Moore have, this guy can be your Dallas Goedert. Like he can be a guy that can break off a tackle or two. Like, he has that type of mind frame. So if the Saints end up getting him late, then I think that would be a plus. He's a big target in the middle of the field. Then you got Derek Moore, the edge out of Michigan. Some of you probably know this guy, but he had double-digit sacks this past season, 10 sacks on the season. He's a guy that I feel like could be that edge guy, a guy that can maybe, if the New Orleans Saints, I don't know if they consider trading away Carl Granderson for draft capital or something. Derek Moore can actually come in and be that guy and be that edge rusher that could probably give you 4 or 5 sacks in his rookie season, something similar to what Carl Granderson gave you this season. And then Pat Coogan, some of you probably recognize him from the game where the offensive line of Indiana became the player of the game at the Rose Bowl. He was the guy that accepted on behalf of the offensive line, but he is a mauler, man. He's a guy that can get dirty in the trenches. He's a guy that you can have at the guard position. Also, the issues that you had at center with Eric McCoy. There's a lot of question marks about Eric McCoy. You know, this is a guy in Coogan who can not only play the guard position, but he can also play center as well. So you have yourself a really good, offensive lineman that can play 2 positions there. So if you decide that, I don't know, you want to trade away Cesar Ruiz, or the fact that you want to make this thing a competition going into 2026, if you want to keep Ruiz on the team, then Coogan can actually be that guy that can come in and be able to be competitive and be that dog. Like, the Saints need somebody that's going to help in pass protection and also be a straight up mauler in the running game, and you'll have that. Now, I don't expect Coogan to be there at this spot based on how he's been playing as of late. I expect for things to kind of change, but if the New Orleans Saints can get him anytime in this draft, then that'll be great, man. But they need to be able to fix this interior. If the New Orleans Saints want to get an interior lineman in free agency, I looked at the list. Not too many guys that, you can write home about. A lot of guys up there in age. I think that the New Orleans Saints want to get younger as a team, so they're probably going to try to draft a interior lineman, or they're probably going to go after somebody that probably on the cusp of being good, but they probably was stuck in a roster where you probably have a main starter, and it's just one of those situations. So the New Orleans Saints are probably going to get younger on the offensive line. But yeah, that's what I would do. But that's my list. That's my first mock draft there. I think that they need to address the offensive side of football. I think that they also need to address the defensive side by getting a little bit more speed at the linebacker position. Let me go ahead and read some of your comments. Then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. It says, that's a solid mock draft, TJ. I appreciate it. I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be, it's going to change as time goes on, but that's just the first mock draft that I've done leading up into the off season. Like now I've been watching film and just watching offensive linemen and watching wide receivers. And, I'm just wondering to myself what the New Orleans Saints are going to do at the wide receiver position this offseason, because Chris Olave showed you that if he has somebody to throw him the football, it'd be a much better version of himself. But I just think that the New Orleans Saints are missing that dog at the wide receiver position. I'm talking about a guy who is out there talking noise. I'm talking about a guy who walks on the field, just knows that he's just head and shoulders above everybody else. Maybe that boisterous guy, that passionate guy. Like, I just think that that's what the New Orleans Saints have been missing since Mike T has left. It's not the fact that Chris Olave isn't good. He is. It's just the fact that Chris Olave is kind of reserved, kind of a quiet guy. The Saints need that alpha male type wide receiver. And I don't know. I mean, Jalen Polk, he got some dog in him. I don't know if y'all seen him play, but he does. Trey Palmer has some dog in him as well. But I just think that the New Orleans Saints need to get themselves that wide receiver, that guy that everybody just knows is that dude. And you align him. You align him with Tyler Shough, I think you'll be fine. But if you look at the Saints wide receiver room and what they're going to be trying to come out with next year, I think that you may have started the season or midway through the season when you seen these other guys like Jalen Polk and Trey Palmer and Devon Bailey, like, I don't know about this. You go from that to like, okay, man, Chris Olave started to come on. We seen Devon Bailey make plays on 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15, like just impossible contested catches. We know Jalen Polk, has made some plays, and Trey Palmer has made plays with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during the time when he was there. So this wide receiver room that didn't look formidable is now looking the part. And maybe if you add another guy onto this wide receiver room, then you got yourself a straight up dude right there, man. TJ, that wide receiver, Elijah Surratt, dude, you're describing him. Look, man, there's a lot of receivers out there that could be there for the New Orleans Saints in this draft, but they need that alpha male, that dog, at the wide receiver position, man. Chase was a beast. He need a partner in crime. Exactly. Now, what the Saints are going to do with that, like, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I mean, if the New Orleans Saints were to, I don't know, move on from Carl Granderson, like, he played good today, but I haven't seen Carl Granderson like really do anything of any significance. A couple of tackles for loss in weeks. But if the New Orleans Saints are like, you know what, man, we can probably use Carl Granderson as trade bait or something like that, maybe add some depth to the team. You can get yourself like a young player, or maybe like one of these other players that has been on the team can step up and make plays. Like Fidel Diggs or Isaiah Stallbird, or like one of these other guys that you actually have on this team that could be that Carl Granderson for you. But if Derek Moore is there late in the draft, like, you get that guy, man. Like I said, he's a double-digit sack type guy. He's a guy that's really good against the run. I think that he can be that guy that can kind of fill that void if you were to move on from Granderson, which, like I said, the Saints got some really tough decisions that they need to make, man. And look, I like Carl Granderson a lot, but, man, you paid this dude and you also paid Chase Young. And look, if we're talking about Carl Granderson supposed to be picking up the bloodstained banner, so to speak, And that's supposed to be picked up from Cam Jordan. Like Cam Jordan had 10 sacks. Meanwhile, Carl Granderson, what he had 6, but 2 of those sacks came in today's game. And he hasn't done anything in weeks. So, like I said, if the New Orleans Saints make that tough decision, then guess what? I mean, you find yourself somebody that can be that edge rusher, somebody that can put that hand on the ground, also stand up on the defensive side of football. Piano Dean, thank you very much for the $10. Says another great season of SOTS podcast. Still can't believe we're both in Myrtle and haven't met. Come have a drink at Crocodile Rock sometime, bro. Next year, going to be great. Yeah, man, look, I'm going to have to check it out. I was actually at Broadway at the beach yesterday, man. Went over there to the Wonder Works. Took the boy over there, man, my son. That was my first time actually going to Wonder Works, man. And I enjoyed it, man. So we go to Broadway at the beach quite a bit. But yeah, shouts out to you, Piano Dean, and thank you so much for the $10. Says the worst thing about football is how the season seems to go by quicker and quicker as we get older. Can't wait for next season. Yeah, Piano Dean. I mean, it goes by pretty fast, man. And man, it's just amazing, like how we just started this season and everybody has high expectations. Everybody feel like their team has a chance, and that there were talks in regards to if the team can actually do something, and they don't. Like they don't live up to expectations. But at the end of the day, I just think that Saints fans went into the season. Let's go ahead and just hit the rewind button here. The Saints fans went into the season in 2025. Morale was at an all-time low. Wasn't sure about the front office. Wasn't sure about the head coach. Wasn't sure about the quarterback situation. Wasn't sure about the team, right? Now, final game of the season, the Saints lose in week 18. But we walk away from week 18 with a level of optimism we didn't have at the beginning of the season. And dare I say, haven't had a level of optimism like this since number 9 walked into a tunnel with about 20,000 fans in attendance in the divisional round of the playoffs. So you got to be optimistic about it. Like I said, it's a bummer, right? Nobody wants to lose to their rivals, right? Credit to the Falcons. They had a better team this season than the Saints. The Saints, they got themselves the quarterback that I feel they need in order for them to sustain success in the future. Put some pieces around them. You're doing the right things when it comes to winning a battle of attrition. Like, for the most part, like the Saints have been relatively healthy this season for the exception of the offensive line. This game, they just picked the worst time for everybody just to be out, right? But there's a lot of things that you can actually build on. There's a lot of things from this football team that you can be proud of. And, if you have yourself a quarterback walking away from the 2025 season, then that's leaps and bounds better than what you felt you had at the beginning of the season when we were out here wondering, like, can Tyler Shough actually do anything? Can Spencer Rattler be the starting quarterback? Why they keep bringing Jake Hayner back? I'm just being honest. Those were the questions among Saints fans. But now it's, man, if we can get ourselves some wide receivers, a running back, this team can be something special. So let's see. Time to go get our next franchise running back in Jeremiah Love. Saints got to get themselves a dynamic playmaker. They got to get themselves a dynamic playmaker and fix this offensive line. It is time, man. It is time. It is time to fix this offensive line. Who that, TJ? We have a good nucleus. Yeah. The Saints got a really good they got a really good foundation right now. If those young players can build on some of the things that they did this season, like the sky's the limit. Add some more pieces to this team for depth purposes, and you'll be all right. I like what the New Orleans Saints are doing. Like, you look at what like they did with Jalen Pope, rookie deal. Devon Vele, rookie deal. Then you got Tyler Shough, who is a second-round pick. Like, he's gonna be on your payroll for at least 3 more years. So you're getting your salary cap back to where you want it to be, back to compliant. All the while you have a second-round quarterback. So you can go out here and get yourself some talented guys in free agency to go alongside your draft picks. And now the way that Tyler Shough is playing, if you're a wide receiver, let's go ahead and take a look and see some of these wide receivers that are available in 2026. Let's see. Let's see who's available is going to be a free agent in 2026 here. All right. A couple guys I feel like they gonna bring back. Like on this list, they got Mike Evans. They're gonna sign Mike Evans back, right? But if we're talking about guys like, I mean, rough year for him, but let's just say, for example, if you want to part ways with Taysom Hill, but you still want to keep that kind of dynamic, if you was to bring in Deebo Samuel or something like that, right? Or bring in like somebody else. Like, let's just say if Dwan Jennings can't get a contract with the 49ers. Let's say if he can't get a deal going, right? What do you do there? Like, there's a couple other guys. Like, it's, in free agency, because the Saints have a quarterback that it seems like can get them the football, is going to make the Saints an appealing spot for a wide receiver. So I'm just looking at it. I'm just looking at it from a particular standpoint here. Like, the Saints went from, not being a good destination, but now people are like, man, Tyler Shough. Like, think about this, man. Tyler Shough went from people not even understanding how to pronounce this man's name. Right? They don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, from everybody like being forced to know who this guy is. So if you can get yourself some like a talented wide receiver in free agency, or you can draft yourself somebody that can actually come in, like it's going to make things interesting. Like, I don't expect for the New Orleans Saints to go out here and try to get a number one receiver in free agency. But if they can bring in somebody that can be like, give you a different dynamic, like I said, Deebo Samuel will be available next season. Like I said, if you want to kind of keep that Taysom Hill dynamic going, right? Catching the ball out of the backfield, running in between the tackles, maybe line him up in the slot. He can actually be that guy for you. Or if you want to bring in a guy who can possibly, be a really good, decent return guy. You got a wide. I'm trying to look for his name here. But he played for the Arizona Cardinals, man. He's a guy. I believe his name is Dortch. Like, he's a return guy. So like I said, you have different players that can actually come in that can, do something for you to go alongside with the wide receivers that you already have. Do you regret giving the kicker a contract? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think Charlie Smith gonna be all right. Even though, if you think about in the grand scheme of things, if he would have made that field goal, then that touchdown by Ronnie Bell would have put the Saints up by 1. Everybody called me a troll last season when I said Derek Carr wasn't it after he started off the season on fire. Well, look, I think everybody kind of came to grips and came to peace with, Derek Carr not being the guy. How's everyone from the NFC South podcast doing? I know Mickey doing the Birdman hand rub right now. Let's see. I like Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC. I like him too. I like him too. He a dog as well. Passing on a quarterback will just keep setting this team back. Why would who are we talking about? We talking about the Saints? We talking about the Saints? You saying passing on a quarterback will keep setting this team back? What are you? Corey, I don't agree with this, bro. Like, Tyler Shough has shown you that he deserves at least to be going into the season as a starting quarterback, and he has definitely showed that you can build some things around him. So I don't know. Tyler Shough is the guy. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take for you to convince, unless, unless you expect for him to just walk out and run out with a Burt marker on his face and a number 9 jersey on. Like, Tyler Shough is the real deal. I wanted Fernando Mendoza, but he won't be there. Look, I think that the Fernando Mendoza crowd died a slow death after probably the 4th or the 5th start from Tyler Shough. Like, there's a reason why the Saints are picking 8 versus when he first started, they was first overall. There's a reason why. It's because of how he was playing. Like, don't get that mistaken, right? The fact that the Saints are not sitting here with a top 3 pick is because the quarterback that a lot of people are skeptical about had played so good to a point where he pushed the Saints draft positioning back. So I don't know. Bro, I don't. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered from the Saints going into like the 2026 offseason. Quarterback, not one of them. Like, I feel like every single week, this like Tyler Shough has basically reinforced everybody's feelings and thoughts and views. And in some people's cases, he has won people over because there were a nice sample size of Saints fans that had zero belief in this dude. So I man, look, I can care less about a draft pick, number one draft pick. I don't. I think that Fernando Mendoza is talented. I think that he's accurate. I think that if he goes to a team with the right situation, I think that he can win some football games. But I would not trade him for Tyler Shough. I would not trade him for Tyler Shough. If Tyler Shough was to come out in this 2026 draft, let's just say, for example, if he would have played one more year at Louisville, he would have been a first overall. He would have been a first quarterback taken off the board based on his talent level. Like all these quarterbacks that's coming out, I don't feel like any of them are as polished or as quarterback or as NFL ready as Tyler Shough was when he took the field. I think that Dante Moore got talent. I think that Fernando Mendoza got talent. I think that Ty Simpson has talent. But Tyler Shough showed the entire NFL world that they need to be saying this guy's name. He made the biggest skeptic a believer. So for that, like, how can you not give this dude the notch and give this dude your unwavering support going into 2026? Are we still talking about Mendoza? Like, we over that. We still got the 8th pick, though. To me, that's still good, TJ. Exactly. If he can't beat Atlanta, he has to go. Man, look here, man. If he can't beat, look, this season, I already mentioned the Atlanta Falcons were a better football team than the Saints were. Like, you just have to admit that. Like, you may not want to admit it, you may not want to accept it, but that's just the facts. They had a better team structured than the New Orleans Saints did. The fact that this man is going out there and playing with a bunch of backups at wide receiver and had a whole bunch of backups on the offensive line, and they only lost by 2 points. Like, this dude has my respect at the end of the day. Like, if we sitting up here talking about, oh man, he didn't beat the Falcons, but this man finished winning 4 out of 5 games. Like, what are we talking about here? Like you got to beat the Falcons. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's going to go a long way. Like, Kellen Moore and Tyler Shough have got to beat the Falcons, but how many people here today feel like Tyler Shough in a better situation with some better talent and some better cast of characters would not have what it takes to beat the Falcons? That's all I'm saying. Like, look what he was out there with. So if you put him out there with better talent, you don't think he had what it takes to go toe to toe and be able to beat the Falcons? I believe that. You said we beat bums, TJ. What you mean? I mean, you beating teams within your division. You can talk about, oh, Tampa not good. You can talk about Carolina not good. But you're playing the teams within your division. So, and think about when he actually played these teams. He played these teams when they needed a win the most. He played against Tampa when Tampa needed to try to continue to separate themselves in the South, and they won. They played against a Carolina Panthers team that if they would have beat the Saints that Sunday and went and beat Tampa, which they did the following week, they would have won the division. And none of this stuff that we're talking about right now would exist. And he still does it. So you can minimize what you're talking about. You can talk about that. Because, okay, if that's the case, think about the teams that the Titans have played. They haven't played murderous row. They played some very scrubbable teams, but you ain't seeing like Cam Ward going out there wheeling and dealing like Tyler Shough is. I'm just saying, like, we got to put this thing into perspective. We want to look at it and size ourselves up against other teams, but you need to understand this too. The Saints are those same teams that you're talking about. Nobody is looking at the New Orleans Saints and being like, oh man, it's going to be a tough outing for us. The Saints were bottom feeders midway through the season. The Saints were ranked 31, 32 in the power rankings midway through the season. So what are we talking about here? We're still looking at the Saints as if they're just this elite football team. When people come into the Superdome, they feel like they come into a house of horrors. Those days are over, man. Those days are over. The same way that we look at other teams when they playing against the Saints, that's the same way the other teams look when they facing the Saints. You may feel like the New Orleans Saints are better than those teams, but in the eyes of the NFL, they look at them the exact same way. So what does that say? If the New Orleans Saints are beating teams that, okay, I got 3 wins, they got 3 wins. I mean, the fact that he's still going out there, making things happen, winning games is something to be looked at. So I don't know what y'all talking about, man. I don't know what y'all talking about. You are not about to convince me that Tyler Shough is not a good quarterback, because I've seen the New Orleans Saints go like, think about this. Think about the quarterbacks that have started for the New Orleans Saints post Drew Brees. How many of those quarterbacks have put on performances versus bottom tier talent, teams that were struggling, putting on performances like Tyler Shough has put on? Tell me. You had experienced quarterback play of Derek Carr, an 11-year veteran, going out there against teams that were bottom feeders and they can barely put up 17 points. Meanwhile, you have Tyler Shough out here that is out here making plays with Juwan Johnson, Dante Pettis, Artrick Estime, Kevin Austin, Ronnie Bell, and Samori Torrey. And they lost by 2 points. What are we talking about? 3rd, 4th, 5th string wide receivers. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how y'all can sit up here and second guess or question this dude, like, being the future of this franchise. Like, we like to live in the now, but think about the quarterbacks that have started for the New Orleans Saints. The scrubbery that has taken the field for the New Orleans Saints. Couldn't play dead in the Western. Couldn't throw a party for their kids. Couldn't hit the back of a barn door. Couldn't hit a boat in the ocean. Couldn't hit water in a great sea. And y'all sitting up here talking about top, man, come on, man. How are you not excited about the future and what this dude has to bring? SOTS definitely got us through the season. Saints arrow pointing up. Thank you very much, Doc, for the $5. How are you not excited? How are you nitpicking and talking about, oh, man, because he ain't beat the Falcons? Like, bruh, I know that Saints fans want to beat the Falcons, but, bruh, seriously, you got bigger fish to fry at this stage right now than beating the Falcons. Because right now, based on the talent level, the Saints have to catch up with where the Falcons are right now. And they're a couple pieces away from being there. So you will never, like, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. Who playing quarterback better than this dude was playing down the stretch? I don't care who they played against. That's the NFL. We seen the worst of the worst beat the best of the best. So we can start looking at record and sizing guys up and saying, okay, man, this dude ain't in my weight class. But look at the Saints record. 6 wins. Oh, they beat the Titans. The Saints had 4 wins and the Titans got 3. And we sitting up here turning our nose up at the Titans. Like, you right there in the mud with them right now. Like, we want the Saints to be better than what we actually see them as. But I'm just telling you, the Saints had no primetime games. The Saints was giving commentators that was having their first job a tryout calling their games. Like, nobody was checking for no Saints. The Saints were in the same boat as these other teams are. So, yeah, what it is. Didn't expect to beat the Falcons, too many injuries. I know who he was throwing to, and I'm talking about overall. He's okay. I like him. Okay. I just want to see him beat Seattle, Rams, 49ers, he beat nobody. Next question. Yeah, keep saying we beat bums, but if we lost against bums, y'all would complain even more. What more do y'all want? Damn, if we do, damn if we don't. Man, look, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Talking about who did he beat? Like, dude beat the teams that were lined up against him in the NFL. That's who he beat. He beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who was fighting for their playoff lives, beat the Carolina Panthers, who were fighting for their playoff lives. You can talk about the Titans and the Jets all you want to, but at the end of the day, the man played some really good football. Man played some inspired football at the end of the day, and his man has Saints fans believing that the sky's the limit. So you only can play who you can play. So, and then my thing about it is, where the hell you was at during the time when the Saints were on a 4-game winning streak? I didn't see this until the Saints lost today. So I don't know. You don't know the day? You don't know the day? So all of a sudden, like, I ain't hear none of this. Oh, man, I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to figure out if he the God or not. You're going to wait till the Saints lose a football game and then sit up here and say, well, I don't know. Like, why when you saying I don't know when the Saints were on a winning streak? Why are you going to wait till the Saints lose to the Falcons in week 18 and now we don't know? Man, I tell y'all, man, like all we want to, like, come on, man, be real about it. Everybody want to sit up here act like they knew something that they've been new and we knew the whole entire time. Man, stand on business. I ain't see this. But now all of a sudden the man lose a game. Now we don't know if he the future of the team. Like, come on, man. So if he would have won today and you would have felt good about, oh, man, we beat the Falcons. Oh, you would have been saying, oh, well, he beat the Falcons, because the Falcons don't have a winning record either. Like, call it for what it is. You're upset that the Saints lost to the Falcons. You're disappointed. You felt like Tyler Shough probably was going to be able to pull it out, but the Saints was going through too much of an insurmountable odd, too many insurmountable odds, and all of a sudden you feel some type of way. Now, I don't know if you're the future of this team. Man, please. This man reconfirmed my feelings about him. You out there go this man. Wait, let's go back here. Let's take a look. This man was 23 of 35, 259 yards, 2 total touchdowns, and an 85 quarterback rating, throwing to Dante Pettis, Artrick Estimate, Kevin Austin, Ronnie Bell, and Samari Torrey. And y'all sitting up here talking about, man, I don't know if he had what it takes. This man out here throwing dimes to Ronnie Bell. Like, who are we talking about here? We talking about a wide receiver, a person from New Edition. Like, what are we talking about here? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are we talking about? Y'all don't know. Some of y'all probably think I'm talking about New Edition. I know no Ronnie Bell is, respectfully. You don't know who this guy is. And he out here throwing dimes to him. And we saying, I don't know. Took us 5 weeks. Took us 5 weeks into a 4-game winning streak. They went 4 or 5. They lose the 5th game. Man, I don't know if he the guy for the job. I mean, I don't know, man. He ain't playing nobody. Okay. All right. If Shough would have won today with those weapons, he would have been on the cover of Madden. Exactly. He would have been on the cover of Madden. Dude went out there with spring football players and darn near won. He's our quarterback. I don't get, like, what are y'all? Look what the man say. He want to see them beat the Rams. I'll put it like this. Josh Allen in his first game, I believe he played against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings were a struggling football team at the time. I mean, they wasn't a playoff team when Josh Allen jumped over their head. When he jumped over the head of the defender and started throwing 60-yard bombs down the field against the Buffalo Bills, the Cleveland Browns the next week, I ain't sit up there and say, well, you know what? Man, Minnesota, man, they ain't what they used to be, and the Cleveland Browns suck. Like, everybody can see, it's certain things. If you're watching football, there are certain things that you see from a quarterback that just tells you that you got something. And it ain't, oh man, look, they playing this team. This guy continues to get better. This man is calling audibles at the line of scrimmage. This guy is putting guys in positions to make plays. He's out here with awkward arm ability, like just slinging a rock. Did y'all not see that pass? Who did he throw it to? I believe he threw it to Dante Pettis. This man was rolling to his left and just slung the ball to the right-hand side and just to the flick of the wrist, a straight dime. Throwing the ball to Juwan Johnson over the head of the defender. Like, what are we doing here, man? Do y'all not see what this man talent and what he possesses? Like, man, bro. I wanted to see the Saints beat the Falcons as much as the next man. But I walk away knowing that the Saints have a brighter future and knowing that the wins and the victories against the Falcons are going to come for years to come. Because here's the thing. If you go into this game without knowing that you have a quarterback, what's a win to the Falcons? Like, seriously, what are we saying? Oh, man, well, man, we beat y'all with a mediocre quarterback. That's out, like, is that like who can, like, bruh, I don't care. If the Saints, I feel much better in a loss for the future of the Saints than a mediocre quarterback going out here making you feel good week 18, beating the Falcons, knowing that guy more than likely in 2026 is not going to give you the results that you want at the quarterback position. What I care about that for? Like, I want to see the Saints beat the Falcons, but I damn sure want to see the Saints also be able to build on just beating the Falcons. I look, bragging rights and all that kind of stuff is cool, but I'd rather have bragging rights knowing that the sky's the limit for the New Orleans Saints because Tyler Shough seems like he's the quarterback of the future. Care about like, seriously, who cares about a quarterback, a mediocre quarterback that's probably not going to help you get to your ultimate goal, beating the Falcons? I'd rather have a guy that I know with some damn talent, with some better talent on the field. He probably would have made this thing way more interesting than what it was. Or probably the Saints probably would have ran away with this game because the Falcons didn't do anything. The Falcons didn't do anything of any significance. They converted some plays. They moved the chains, got into field goal range, and was happy kicking field goals all game long. I'm good with Tyler Shough. If Tyler Shough ain't won you over yet, then he'll never win you over. And it's going to take way more than a Falcon law for me to feel any other way other than the fact that the Saints have found their guy. But let's go ahead and read some of these stats off. I mentioned Tyler Shough, 23 of 35, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ultric Estime, 21 of 63. 21 carries for 63 yards, 3-yard average. Tyler Shough, 3 carries for 34 yards. Evan Hall, 2 carries for 11. You got Juwan Johnson, 3 catches for 61 yards. Dante Pettis, 5 catches for 60 yards. Ultric Estime, 5 catches for 43 yards. Kevin Alston, 4 catches for 37. Taysom Hill, 3 catches for 32. Ronnie Bell, 2 catches for 23 and a touchdown. And Samori Torrey had 1 catch for 3 yards. That was your offense. That was your offense. Name one guy that I just mentioned that you look at going to be on the same starting roster next season besides Juwan Johnson. I'll wait. Let's look at the defense. Carl Granderson led the team in tackles with 10, had a sack and a half. Chase Young, who had a monster game. I mean, this defense came to play. Like, I know we've been talking offense, but this defense came to play today. I mean, they were going after Kirk Cousins. I mean, they could not run the football. I'm talking Atlanta. I mean, they did what they needed to do. They like, the defense has no reason to hang their head in shame after this performance today. Demario Davis with 6 tackles, 1 solo. Alante Taylor with 4 tackles. Cam Jordan with 4 tackles and a sack. Quincy Riley with 4. Jonah Williams with 4. Kool-Aid McKinstry with 3. Danny Stutzman with 3. John Ridgeway with 3. Taysom Hill with 2. Terrell Burgess with 2. Isaac Adam with 2. Got Pete Warner, Yernis Singer, Chris Rumpf, and Isaiah Stahlberg. They all had 2 as well. And then you have a couple guys with 1 tackle. You had Jordan Howden, Christian Boyd, Jalen Ford, Ultric Estime, Jonathan Bullard, Justin Reed all had 1 tackle. Devon Godshaw was out there, but didn't record not 1 tackle. So, but you have to believe that he definitely contribute in the run game and run support, man, plugging up the middle. But the Saints still, they do need another interior guy. They need some more big bodies on the line. I like John Ridgeway, I like Devon Godshaw, but they need another big guy on this team. All right, and I said this team is unpredictable without Kamara and Taysom. I disagree with that because I can make an argument over the last couple of weeks, man. Taysom Hill has been a liability on his offense. I'm just telling the truth. I mean, how many of us were going into a game where the Saints kept on calling that QB power that didn't work? And, you know, it's like, man, the Saints need to go with the running backs that they have on the team. Like, I mean, to me, I just feel like, see, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, I just think that the narratives, and I got to say this, Albert, I feel like the narratives that have been around the New Orleans Saints for so long, we have basically grown accustomed to those narratives. But if we peel back the lens and see, it's not what it seems. It's not what we thought. Like the Saints, Taysom Hill is a great addition to the team, but Taysom Hill in some cases was a liability out there. Like I would prefer for the Saints to take the ball out of the hands of Taysom Hill and put it to the hands of somebody else, like another running back, a tight end, a wide receiver that can catch. So I just feel like that narrative is not what it used to be, man. I feel like the New Orleans Saints need another running back? Yeah. But I could also make an argument that Alvin Kamara didn't do nothing this season. Like Alvin wasn't out there making plays. Like I'm talking about when Alvin was healthy. He wasn't out there really making plays that much. What I'm saying is the New Orleans Saints need to go in a different direction. And a lot of these guys that the Saints are going to be relying on aren't going to be the usual suspects that a lot of us have grown accustomed to. Oh, the Saints ain't winning because Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill not out there. Nah, man. Like the Saints are going to move in a different direction if you ask me. I don't think that Taysom Hill will be back with the Saints. I don't. I think that the New Orleans Saints probably are going to end up like getting somebody, you know, maybe like a Deebo Samuel that can come to the team or somebody that provides that type of skill set. But I'm just saying, man, like the narrative, oh, man, if Kamara was playing or Taysom was out there, like that ain't the reason why the Saints lost. I mean, the reason why the Saints lost is because they didn't have enough horses in the barn in order for them to be able to create opportunities and create plays. And the guys that we were relying on throughout the season wasn't making plays either. Great players, but they weren't making plays either. They just usual suspects who we have grown accustomed to counting on, but they wasn't doing nothing. I love Hill, but his body is not built to handle his usual game style anymore. He become a liability and a health risk. Taysom will always be respected in NOLA, but it's time to shut it down. Yeah, I mean, look, I hope that he didn't dislocate his shoulder, but the fact that they took his helmet and his shoulder pads, man, I just think the writing on the wall, man. I like Taysom. Will go in the Ring of Honor, in my opinion, one of the greatest overall football players of all time. I'm saying it. I'm saying it because I have never seen a player in my lifetime play so many different positions well, and he's a matchup nightmare in any spot on the field you put him. Rather it's special teams, rather it's tight end, rather it's running back, rather it's quarterback. He makes a difference. But at the end of the day, everybody has a shelf life. And getting beat up constantly from the time when he was at BYU being a quarterback, being injured. And all of the little nicks and knacks and paddywhacks that he has had throughout his time as a Saints player since he has come to the team. Look, man, Father Time is undefeated, and those injuries catch up with you. So I think that the New Orleans Saints offense will look completely different. And I think some of the guys that we are going to be looking at and hoping to make plays for the team are going to be completely different than what you actually see on the field. And definitely what you saw on the field today. Definitely what you saw on the field today. AK is still good out the backfield. I'll just let him play out his contract. I let him play out his contract, but I would not go into 2026 with Alvin Kamara as my featured back. Like, he will be sharing the backfield with somebody. I'm having that conversation with him. Like, we want to sit up here and give guys the green light because of this this undying loyalty that the players had. And look, they deserve to be respected. They deserve for their names to go into the Ring of Honor. And Cam Jordan's case, he deserves to get a bust and a gold jacket. But at the end of the day, it's about moving on. And also, it's about building a better roster for years to come. And I'm just saying, you look at Alvin Kamara, every single year, he has been injured, nicked up, has not been able to finish the season. I'm not saying that he's washed. I'm not saying that he doesn't have anything to offer. I feel like Alvin Kamara goes to another team. If the New Orleans Saints were to like trade him and he goes to a team, I don't know, like Minnesota, goes to a team like, I don't know, the Chiefs, I think everybody be like, man, why we got rid of AK? But what I'm saying is, Alvin Kamara, even he will tell you, he will be 31 at the start of the season. Even he has talked about sharing the backfield. This has come from Alvin himself. So I'm going into the season, having a conversation with Alvin Kamara, letting him know that we're looking for a running back for you to share the load with. And if you get Jeremiah Love and Alvin Kamara, you got yourself a cornerstone running back for years to come, and you got a guy who is a very talented running back. He can learn alongside. Like this loyalty stuff is all fine and dandy, but we got to be realistic about this too. It's about building something for the future. Like having guys, that have been dependable and loyal and all those things that you want to see in players, that's great. But once again, this is a young man's league. And when you have these players out there and they can't get the boundary like they once did, they can't make somebody miss like they once did. They ain't breaking and shredding off the defenders like they once did. You got to be real with what you're seeing. Nobody wants to talk about that. Like, nobody wants to let grandma, grandpa, great uncle, great aunt want to have a conversation like, we need to take your keys. All right. We need to take, nobody want to have this conversation, right? Nobody wants to do it. I love you, but I don't want you to hurt yourself. We need to take the keys from you, right? If you need to go somewhere, give us a call. That is the conversation. You don't want to have it, but it needs to be had. And the Saints need to get younger on the offensive side of the football. And I'm not saying throw these dudes away, but at the same time, man, the Saints need to find ways to get better offensively and get some firepower and some guys that's not just going to be doing it for 1 or 2 years, but some player that can do it for 6, 7, 8 years. And if you're a quarterback, double-digit years. How do you block people because they don't agree? That's exactly what is wrong with the world shaking my head. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't block you. I ain't block you. That ain't me. I don't block people based on their opinions. So if anybody blocked him for feeling the way that he does, even though we may not agree, that was wrong. All right. Don't block a person just because you don't agree with what they're saying. So whoever blocked them, can you please put them back inside of the chat? All right. Now I got all these Falcon fans coming at me for me coming at them. Well, look, hey man, it ain't no fun when a rabbit got, y'all know what I'm saying. It ain't no fun. But hey man, you just gotta deal with it, man. I know it happened to me last year with Derek Carr. I got timed out. Yeah, I don't understand it, man. Can we please stop? Can we please stop timing people out, banning them from the chat because we don't agree with what they're saying? Please, can we please stop doing that, man? Can we please stop doing that? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. may not agree with it. I definitely don't agree with the Tyler Shough narrative, but everybody deserves their right to feel and express the way that they feel, man. We cannot do that. We can't do that, right? We can't allow our emotions to get the best of us and block people out. And also at the same time, you know, we trying to grow a channel here. You know, we trying to grow a channel, and I'm not trying to banish people, you know, for having comments that I don't agree with. You know, if they're nice enough and kind enough to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button and give their opinions, like, I'm all for it. As long as you ain't out here just being mad, disrespectful, talking about nobody or bringing up, like, you know, some negativity, you know, in regards to, you know, things that don't have anything to do with football, I ain't got no problem with you. So I don't want to do it, but if we have to take away wrenches, we will. Thank you, TJ. Just because we don't agree don't mean I'm not a Saints fan. Yeah, man, that's all it comes down to it. I don't want to take wrenches, but we trying to grow a show here. And a lot of people feel as if it's me blocking them, and I'm not. I'm not blocking anybody. Only reason I block somebody if they just mad disrespectful with, like, you know, going, like, just saying some stuff that's just completely inappropriate. But I'm not, nobody should be blocked because they're a fan of another team and they bragging and boasting. They shouldn't be getting blocked if they come in here with 2 brooms, because we're doing the same thing when the Saints beat Carolina. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. So like I said, if we're going to be doing it like that, man, then we might want to just take these wrenches away and just have everybody just enjoy the show and, you know, have to moderate myself. My father rewind the times got blocked for speaking his mind. That said, yeah, we don't want that. Falcons happy with the game, but they still don't have a franchise quarterback, and we do. You ain't got to block him, TJ, but I'm a block. Man, look, we don't need to block anybody, man. Like I said, man, we there's going to come a time where we're going to say some stuff and it's going to come into fruition, and we're going to want heaven and earth to know that we said it. And there's going to come times where we say something, we're going to be wrong, and somebody that's probably said something opposite of what we said going to let us hear it. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't know what my timeline going to say. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have my fair share of Falcon fans on NFC South Roundtable or on social media talking about brooms. But, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. You want to talk it, but you got to dish it too. Like, if you want to dish it, you got to be able to take it. Like, you know, we don't want to be no Cowboy fan now. We don't want to be grandstanding and hot dogging and then start talking about what we used to be. Enough of the ignorant BS on the comments at all. I'm tired of it. We have to move on to 2026 season. Straight up, TJ. TJ, what's your thoughts about our team schedule opponents with AFC and NFC with primetime? I think the Saints will get some primetime games because of Tyler Shough. I think that the Saints will end up getting a free agent come to this team because of Tyler Shough, rather it's offensively or defensively. And I think that the Saints will have a much better supporting cast at the wide receiver position and running back position. And hopefully they fix this offensive line, because I think that Kellen Moore will put emphasis on that. I think he will. We should be proud. Staying in the entire game with a practice squad offense run by a rookie quarterback, a lot of room of growth from here. I have no problem with it. I have no problem. Love or Tyson. We get another playmaker. We are in the right spot. Yeah, I mean, if you can get Jeremiah Love, that's fine. If you can get Jordan Tyson, that's great as well. But you need a dog on your football team. Damn, can't believe the season is over. We're about to be off the chains next season. He wasn't blocked. I believe he just got timed out. Okay. I don't know. Look, let's just be mindful of that, man. Like, is it worth it at the end of the day? That's all I'm saying. Like, if it ain't like mad disrespectful with it, if they not like, you know, being disrespectful to somebody in the chat, if they just saying something that you don't agree with, I just don't feel like that's grounds to time a person out or block them from it. And if they're a fan of another team, they definitely don't deserve to be blocked. Plain and simple. Because like I said, if the Saints would have beat the Falcons today, we would have been sitting up in here talking about TJ, play the song. TJ, man, they thought they were going to sweep us. Like, nah, man. Like, let them have their day. Let them have their day, because they would have, I guarantee you, Falcon fans would have heard from you in a chat on here if the Saints would have won this football game. So let them talk. TJ, were we watching the two teams that will carry this division moving forward? Yep, I believe that. I believe so. I really do. I believe so. I don't look at Tyler Shough as a true rookie. I mean, he don't play like it. TJ, practice that beanie weenie. You'll be using it a lot next season. Well, I hope so, man. I hope that the Saints can put it all together. TJ, do you think Shough still has a chance to win Rookie of the Year? I do. I do feel like he has a chance to win Rookie of the Year. Kellen should evaluate the team. I kind of trust him in the draft next year, because all of a sudden we get more and get a decent draft. The more Mickey stays away, the better we will be. Well, look, man, I don't want to sit up here and just act as if Mickey Loomis didn't do some good things. Like I said, I mean, that trade that he did with Marshawn Lattimore, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the reason why Ernest Sinker is on the football team. The fact that he traded for Devon Bailey and everybody thought he was crazy, and it turns out Devon Bailey, the second coming of Marcus Colston. I mean, that was a win. Like, he didn't go up or down in a draft, right? Drafting all 9 players. Like, look, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that, because we can't on one hand say, he don't deserve no credit because the team looks like they're formidable. And then if they didn't look formidable, we would have gave him all the blame in the world. Oh, man, look what Mickey doing. He's screwing up the draft again. So, no, man, I'm not going to do that. Like, everybody knows my thoughts and feelings about Mickey Loomis, but you got to give the guy some credit, because you definitely wouldn't have gave him no credit if the New Orleans Saints would have looked like straight slaw all season long. Tyler Shough wouldn't have looked the part, and Kellen Moore just looked like he was lost like a dead headlights from start to finish. So I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give Mickey Loomis some credit, because we wouldn't have gave him credit. We would have gave him credit if the Saints sucked all season long. Oh, man, look what Mickey doing. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna give Mickey some credit. Doesn't change the way I feel. I still think that, the New Orleans Saints may need some younger blood off in that thing, but I'm gonna give them credit. I'm gonna criticize the organization when they do wrong, but I'm gonna applaud them when they do right. And a lot of things that they did in 2025 were the right decisions, or at least they look like they were the right decision. So let's see if they can build on some of the decisions that they made in 2025. Hopefully they don't get arrogant and full of themselves, because I'm pretty sure Mickey Loomis is going to come to the podium with his chest high and talking a whole bunch of noise and trying to take shots at the media and fans alike, because nobody saw this coming. But at the end of the day, your only funk is your last cut. As Andre 3000 said on the famous song Rosa Parks, you mess around and you'll be a has what. So you got to continue to build on what you're actually doing in 2025. So you can't do, back in 2009, back in 2017, back in 2025. No. Keep building on what you're actually doing and make sure that this team is formidable for years to come. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Much love to you. The season is over, but not here on the State of the Saints podcast, man. We're not over. Not over by a long shot. I mean, we still got the off season coming up. We got the Senior Bowl. We got the NFL Combine. We got the NFL Draft. We got rookie OTAs. We got OTAs. We got spring ball. We got all these different things going on, and we're going to be right here giving it to you right here on the State of the Saints podcast. Proud to also announce a couple more podcasts that are coming. All right. Now that the season is over, State of the NFL will be back for the start of the postseason, wild card weekend. We'll be doing some watch-alongs. Keep it posted right here on the State of the Saints podcast. I'll let you know what game we're going to be doing watch-alongs with. Also, WWE fans. All right. To all the WWE fans out there, we will be doing watch-alongs and live reactions of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. So if you're into wrestling, make sure that you check that out. So we got things coming up this off season. Also, another podcast that's going to be coming. Mostly it's going to be focusing on everyday life and stuff like that, different topics. So if you're into that type of stuff, that'll be available for you. So man, we about to go crazy this off season with the podcast content. So y'all gonna see my face quite a bit, and we're gonna be doing some different things, man. So if you're like, we're gonna be talking about different topics, different subjects, but we're gonna keep the main thing right here on the State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available right here on the State of the Saints podcast YouTube channel, as well as other streaming platforms. You can also catch me on the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday. And also you'll be able to check me out on the State of NFL, TJ Knows Wrestling, and other podcasts that's coming to you really, really soon. Till next time, all I got to say is
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?